We are live. What the puck? We got myself, Keith Cab Jr. We got Matt Vecchio, MVecchio81 on Twitter, calling the hot takes, predicting a Winnipeg win. They ended up sweeping the Oilers last night, which is probably the biggest surprise of the playoffs so far, I would say. We had a couple other elimination games last night that the teams didn't fight off. They extended the series, so we have now a couple game sixes coming up on Wednesday. We got two games going on right now. We got the Maple Leafs up 3-0 on the Canadiens, and then we got the Predators up 2-1 on the Hurricanes. Something I don't love for my bets, obviously. Anything catch your eye on the DFS slate last night? We had a monster 5-game slate. Anyone? I mean, obviously the two goaltenders who played in overtime. I bet Hellebuck probably put up an insane amount of points.
Yeah, you had. Oh no, I didn't have enough Winnipeg or Hellebuck, but yeah, Penguins and Islanders put up another high-scoring game. Like we said, they would a lot of points there. Spencer Knight he should have been playing since game one, but he played great last night. I would assume he plays again tomorrow night. He had a great debut. He had 30 fantasy points on DraftKings, so that was a really nice night for him. I'm surprised Vegas scored the first goal and then just got shut down. They outshot him like 40-14 or something and just couldn't get anything past Talbot after that first goal. So that was a couple of surprises, how well Florida played. But you mentioned the other night, they had a lot of fans, more fans in the stands. And
every game's increasing. It's like incremental. They come out with an announcement the day before. It's like 2,000 more fans than the previous game.
Yeah, maybe that helped Florida. But also being an elimination game, you probably, you don't want it at home. So, and then, like I said, with Vegas, they're back home tomorrow night on Wednesday. So I think that might be it for Minnesota. But hey, you never know. Talbot stands on his head again. You have another game like that. So
yeah, I agree with your point too. That Spencer Knight probably should have been starting from day one, but it's tough when you got a $10 million goalie. You can't just you got to give him game one, and I guess he got game 4 too. But Drieger kind of thought if Bobrovsky was going to falter, maybe Drieger would be the guy to fill in, and it really was Spencer Knight's show on game 5. But yeah, that kind of leads into our games tomorrow. The two games right now, neither are elimination, so we're going to definitely see those games around. But we got 3 elimination games tomorrow. All 3 games are 3-2 series. We'll start it off with the Penguins and the Islanders. Islanders won it yesterday in double OT off of Tristan Jarry, just absolute muffin in the middle of the ice right to Josh Bailey, finished it off. That was tough to see as Vecchio is a Penguins fan. For him, as for someone who bet on the Penguins series, not great for me. I might double down because the series price now for the Penguins is plus 210. Islanders is all the way up to minus 275. We take a look at the money line for tomorrow's game. We got where did it go? Who's on this one? Oh. All right, yeah. So we got the Penguins coming in at minus 105, Islanders minus 110. So kind of surprising the Islanders aren't a little more favored there. I would have suspected it. We got the over-under at 5.5. The over in this series is 3-2. We got 4 1-goal games, so taking that plus 1.5 is it's not really profitable because plus 1.5 is about minus 300, and no one likes to take a minus 300 odds kind of thing. But if you want to bite the bullet on that, the Penguins are getting a 1.5 tomorrow. Man, this stinks. I mean, I want the Penguins to win so bad, but after that game, that meltdown, the Islanders have kind of locked it up defensively. Sorokin has looked like an absolute beast in net. They pretty much doubled the Islanders' shots. They absolutely dominated that game, should have won that game. And Sorokin it's been the tale of the goaltenders, I'd say, in a few of these series and games most recently. So probably stay away from this game just because I have some exposure to the Penguins series, and I have Islanders Cup and Penguins to win the East. So I'm just going to stay clear from this game. But I don't really see any value. Maybe taking the Islanders at a home, like minus 110, I guess has a little value. I know Vecchio wouldn't like that, but yeah, probably nothing for me on this game. What about the DFS side of things?
One thing that stands out right away is I'm mainly DraftKings. Malkin's price is very low. He had a good game on Monday night.
He was buzzing. He even if he didn't put up the numbers necessarily, you could tell he
scored a goal,
right?
So I mean, in the last 3 games of the series he's played, he missed the first 2 games, but he has a goal and 2 assists, and he didn't do anything in Game 4, but the Penguins didn't do anything in Game 4 themselves. So, but he had a goal on Monday night. He had 2 assists in Game 3 in the 5-4 win. So I like Malkin, and his line mates and Zucker and Kapanen are very cheap. So I like Penguins line 2 to be different and for salary savings, because I think I want to again load up on the next game we talk about. But yeah, obviously Penguin. If you want to pay up the Penguins line 1, if you're playing multiple lineups, you're going to have some exposure to that. Like we mentioned the other night, Bavoulier was really good again. Eberle scored a goal. Palmieri was buzzing, but he didn't really get anything. But it's the same guys. It's going to a Game 6 of a series. It's a lot of the same guys. The Islanders' first line, even though Leo Komarov kind of buzzed around, but he didn't. Of course, he's useless in fantasy, like we keep saying. So Bavoulier takes over his spot. I always put him with Barzal and Eberle because you're going to get the power play. Penguins been taking penalties, so Pajot plays in that first power play unit. But yeah, I mean, I kind of want to play some of this game just because every game's been high scoring pretty much. So you want to stay with that. And then, like I said, I don't want either goalie unless I can get points for Tristan Jarry playing for the Islanders. I don't want the goalies because he's done more for the Islanders than he has with Penguins in the series, costing them 2 games. So
yeah, maybe they go to DeSmith tomorrow too. After that, I mean,
I don't even think he's healthy.
Oh, really?
No, DeSmith, he's still listed as out. He won't be an option for Game 6. He's still out. It says, yeah.
Okay.
He's been skipping the team, so it'd be Maxime Lagacé, and
they're gonna roll with Jarry.
So you gotta go Jarry. I mean, hey, Lagacé got shut out. His only game played this season, but that wasn't a playoff game. So.
All right. Well, that's a 6:30 puck drop. Just keep an eye out on that. Yes. But yeah, so then we'll roll right into the next game. We got Panthers. We got Lightning. Another elimination game. Lightning are up 3-2 in that series. The Lightning, you can get them now minus 400 on the series. Panthers all the way down to plus 300 after being plus 700 after last game. Panthers on the money line tomorrow is plus 133. Lightning, you get them at minus 157. The over-under is set at 6. The over is 3-2 in this series so far. Man, what a series. I mean, I love the Battle of Florida. I want this to go to 7 so bad. I mean, I think you're getting some value on the Panthers being plus 133, but I'm not going to take it because I already have Panthers series at plus 280, which is basically a money line parlay between this game and the next game, which probably wouldn't pay out as much anyway. So I'll probably stay away from this. I mean, see, the thing with the over is that do you think Spencer Knight really has another unreal game in Tampa's barn this time? They're not home. They're at Tampa. I mean, you imagine they're going to go back to him. I don't see a way that they don't go back to him.
It's already announced.
Obviously. So
I don't know how you don't, honestly. I mean,
right. If you get the over 6 at plus, like get plus 100 on it. I mean, that has some good value because it pushes at 6. Aside from that, though, I'm probably going to stay away from this game. I don't see much value on the Lightning at minus 157. I think this will be a good game. And then again, like maybe puck line. If you really feel the Lightning are going to win, maybe take them in regulation or puck line. But I'm going to stay away from this game. And yeah, the Panthers covering a goal and a half is only minus 200, so I'm not going to touch that. DFS side, what lines do we like in this game? Are we going all in on this game? Are we taking Barkov, Huberdeau? Are we taking Kucherov, Point? Any goalies? Vasi, Knight.
Well, if you're playing multiple lineups like I will be doing, I'm going to have a lot of Spencer Knight. Just because Tampa will just shoot the puck a lot.
Is he cheap? They want to close.
Yeah, he's 7,500 on DraftKings, which is cheap. Because you look at the goalies on the slate tonight, tomorrow night. You got Vasilevsky's 84, Sorokin's 79, Jarry's 78, Spencer Knight's all the way down 75. He's the cheapest one that you want to play. Because even if Fleury's at 82 on DraftKings and where I don't even see Minnesota. Where's Minnesota? That's weird. Talbot 76. Yeah, so Spencer has the cheapest goal on the slate. I'm gonna have plenty of Spencer Knight. And if you're playing,
Hurricanes
playing
tied it. Let's go.
I mean, if you're playing cash, then it's Fleury. But I wouldn't even trust Vasilevsky against Florida. But Spencer Knight, Florida's going to get the shots. Tampa's going to get the shots against Florida like they do, like they did last night. But as far as the skaters, nothing really stands out. I mean, Sam Bennett. I'm sorry. So Sam Bennett's been hot since he got there. Owen Tippett has had a pretty decent series, so I like him with that second line with Bennett and Huberdeau. For Hagee, Barkov, and Marchment probably will carry the ownership because for Hagee and Marchment are so cheap, you can get them with Barkov, and you kind of offset his price. He's up there at on DraftKings at 77, which he's been higher than that this season, but he's the highest on the slate as far as centers go. Actually, all around on the entire slate, he's the highest, I think. So, but yeah, it's line 2 for Florida that I really like because you're going to have lower ownership. I mean, you want to be real different. Again, if you're playing a lot of lineups, I don't mind line 3 with Vetrano, Wenberg, and Hornqvist, but I would stay with line 2 from Florida as a way to be different from the Barkov line. If you want to mix it up and put Barkov on with Huberdeau and Tippett, you can get Huberdeau and Tippett with line 2, Barkov and Huberdeau on the power play together. That's a way to change it up a little bit and get away from the chalk. It's probably going to be Verhaeghe and Marchment because they're so cheap. But for Tampa, it's the first line: Palat, Point, Kucherov. The third, I really like the third line from Tampa too. Again, it's a way to be different. Colton, Gordy, and Coleman have playing pretty well. If you wanted to take 2, it would be Gordy and Coleman for me. I see Carolina's had a goal disallowed, so that sucks. But again,
no,
I like.
No.
I've mentioned it the whole series since we've been doing this. McDonough and Savard are pretty inexpensive defensemen. Kernak.
You have to see that. You have to see that. That stinks.
I saw.
This goaltender interference rule, the refs don't know what it is.
I don't get it.
They are so inconsistent. The officiating has been so bad. If you saw the McDavid game last night, he got absolutely mauled and was just no called all game. He didn't draw a single penalty. He did not draw one penalty in the whole series. And it's in the NBA, if that happened to LeBron, he'd have 30 fouls. 3 guys would be fouled out. Like they'd be bringing him in on a freaking throne with his crown on, shooting free throws. They're going to carry him up to the line, a little layup. In the NHL, they just want their superstars to get absolutely destroyed, I guess, and they want this officiating to be horrible.
Anyway, we let you have his rant.
Sorry.
No, we're good. But I was saying you can get some cheap defense I like on this one. Montour, Chernak, Savard, Gudis, who I keep mentioning. Even Gustav Forsling isn't expensive. Keith Yandel is under 4K on DraftKings. So there's some cheap D guys from both teams. You're gonna pay up for forwards in this game. So one way to be different is to take a forward off a line like I mentioned, Colton, and put like a David Savard with a third line pair. That's how you can be different. Play defenseman, but you don't play Hedman, you don't play Weegar, who could be the chalk defenseman. So Weegar wasn't chalk the other night, actually. The Endel was, I think, but still. So, but that's the game you want to get the most exposure to. You want to play that game first and foremost. That's the game that has the most goals in any series so far is that one. So,
yeah, I agree. It's the most exciting series too. If you just want to play a lineup to watch the games, hammer that lineup and just watch the Battle of Florida, Game 6, lock in. Oh, all right. Well, screw Carolina. That call is outrageous. It's still pissing me off. But we'll finish off this with Vegas and Minnesota. We got another elimination game. Minnesota scaving off another game where the team who dominated did not win. Vegas dominated that game. Should have won, didn't win. Goaltending again just kind of carries it. Sometimes that happens. Playoff hockey, we get it. Well, as I mentioned in the Discord, we are in WTF mode for playoff hockey where nothing makes sense, and that's why I'm starting to lose some hair over here. But we got Vegas, we got Minnesota. Vegas on the on the series is minus 670. Minnesota's plus 450 if you're really feeling ballsy and think Minnesota can rattle back-to-back wins. On the money line tomorrow, we got Vegas at minus 136, Minnesota plus 118, over-under set at 5.5. Looks like it's almost about even odds for the 5.5. We were getting plus 110, plus 115 earlier on in the season, but they hit that over last night. So we got the overs 2 and 3 on the series. I'm taking Vegas money line. I don't care how exposed I am to them. They're finishing the series off tomorrow. They are not letting this go 7. Mark Stone's just going to go insane mode, Captain Insano, if you will. They dominated that game. They should be higher, like I think minus 136. You can even get it on some books as low as minus 130. I think that's good value on Vegas. Even though Minnesota, honestly, besides Pittsburgh, they're probably the best home team in the playoffs, or even in the whole regular season. So, I mean, I don't think that matters much because if you look at it, Vegas won games 3 and games 4 in Minnesota. So I think they're the better team. I think they take care of business tomorrow, and I think you're getting good value. If you want to take them in regulation is probably going to be plus money. Even though a couple of these games did go to overtime, you can get some value there. The minus 1.5 is about plus 200 if you really think that they're just going to roll over them. I don't. I'm just going to play it safe, take the money line, call it my day, and move on. How about on the DFS side of things? What do we like here?
Well, it's we keep mentioning Fleury as like the chalk cash game goalie. I agree with you. I think Vegas ends the series, so you should get that kind of bonus, the win bonus from Fleury. But if you want to play tournaments, I'm looking at the stats. I'm coming around on Talbot again to play tomorrow night. Even if they lose, the guy's made 30 on DraftKings. Again, I don't play FanDuel, so it's hard for me to talk about FanDuel, but on DraftKings, he's hit the 35 save bonus 3 times in this series, and he's accrued over 28 points in 2 of the 5 games so far. So, I mean, he only had one bad game. It was the 4-0 loss in Game 4 that he only faced for 17 shots and gave up 3 goals. So, other than that, I mean, he's given up 3, 4, 3, and 2 in the last 4 games after the Game 1 shutout, but he's got the bonus from DraftKings. So we know Vegas is going to shoot the puck a ton. So in tournaments, I'd put Spencer Knight as 1 because I think Florida actually may make this a Game 7. But Talbot will be number 2 for tournaments. You get cheap goalies who are going to make saves. That's what you want. And if you get the win, it's extra. But you get those save bonuses, and you get a guy who faces a ton of shots. That's what you look for. But other than this game, like we talked about the other night, I don't want a lot. That Vegas 2, if for some reason I haven't seen anything at Pacioretty somehow back.
I don't think he's coming back. I think they're going to kind of ease it. They're going to wait till round 2, get him fully healthy for that Avs series. Because when those two teams battle, that is going to be one for the ages. That's got 7 games written all over it.
If he's ready and they go a Game 7 at home, you might see him out there.
Yeah, but even without him, like Tuck, Stevenson, and Stone have kind of been putting up some numbers the last few games. Obviously, they were slow Game 1. Obviously, no one scored Game 1. But Tuck once they put Tuck on that top line, because I think he started on line 3. I mean, he's been rolling.
I mean, he had an assist last night. He's got 3 goals and an assist in 5 games in this series. So he's not cheap. He's $5K on DraftKings, but he's getting first line minutes from that. And I mean, on the Minnesota side, there isn't much to like. Even when they scored 4 goals last night, it's spread out. I believe, looking at the score. But I mean, line 2 obviously is Kaprizov with Rask and Zuccarello. The top line I don't really like. It's not a top line. I feel that top line's a third line, honestly, with Greenway, Eriksson, and Foligno. But if you're playing any kind of Minnesota, I'd play him a bunch of lineups. Maybe get some Minnesota 2 as your exposure. If you like, maybe throw a Spurgeon or a Dumba, maybe Brodin as a one-off defenseman. But I'm not really looking for much offense in this game again. Vegas line 2, Tuck's inexpensive. Stevenson's not that expensive either. with Stone. So the top two lines there. I wouldn't go any lower than that. I don't like anything on the third line, really. I mean, Rock plays in the first power play, but he hasn't done anything. So it's not worth you playing the salary to put him out there. You know, he's really keep it 2,800. So if you really want to try, you can. But he has 2 assists in the entire series and 5 shots on goal, 4 block shots. He's not even getting any kind of fringe points. So he's pretty much, maybe you get lucky for 2,800 and you get yourself an assist or something, and he pays off. But it's the first 2 lines for Vegas and the second line for Minnesota, and then of course the Vegas D, Pietrangelo and Theodore and Martinez being back. That's it for that one.
Let's go. We got 3 games tomorrow. Exciting stuff. All 3 elimination games. We'll see if any of these teams can battle it out and force a Game 7. Hopefully we get at least 1 Game 7, if not 2. It looks like this Carolina-Nashville might also go 7, unfortunately. I wouldn't like that. I just want Carolina to finish the job. I think it's still 2-1. They didn't count the goal. Terrific. But yeah, 3 elimination games tomorrow. We'll see if the Leafs too. The Leafs look like they're rolling. It looks like they might finish the Habs off in 5, and then you get a nice Leafs-Jets series in Canada. But yeah, playoff hockey in full swing. I love it. You got at Keith Cab Jr., at MVecchio81 if you want to follow along our plays, at Win Daily Sports for all your betting and DFS needs. Let's keep it rolling and let's win some money, Vecchio.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, guys.